What's going on, guys? Welcome to the 8th episode of the Gamefall Podcast. I'm Kyle Sherman. He's John McVeigh.
How's it going?
I was going to say, John, say hi to the people.
Hi.
Oh, man. Has it been another week?
It's been another week. I can't believe it's been another week. I crammed so much into last week. So we'll just start there. I went to Seattle, and I got to go to a Dave & Buster's. That's the first one I've ever been to. It's like, someone said Chuck E. Cheese for adults, which I think is really appropriate.
I've never been to Dave & Buster's, but I've been to someplace similar.
So it's like Buy Renton if you're in Seattle. It's actually in that super mall. They call it a super mall. It's not really a super mall. It's just really big.
Is that the Southgate Mall?
Probably. Anyway, so we went there for dinner, and then we got the play card with the meal, because you save money on your meal. And they had Halo Fireteam Raven. And I played that. Sucks by yourself. Like, really bad. It's an arcade shooter, just like, so if you played the Jurassic Park one where you're in the Jeep, it's like that. And then they had Luigi's Mansion, which if you played Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon on the 3DS, it's that game in arcade form. And they had Mario Kart DX, which was kind of cool, because you could team up, and then you could get one of the power-ups that would morph your car together into like a tank, and one person fires shells, and the other person drives. So my wife and I played that, and we kicked everybody's butt. It was awesome. And then we got enough tickets, to buy a little souvenir glass for free. So that was cool. The other thing I did was I went to Fry's, which is it's like the Costco of electronics. So if you need anything electronic or relating to electronics, you can go there. And I got Ultra Sun, and I just started playing it. I'm not very far. I have like an hour in.
A question, though. Does your Switch know you're cheating on it?
It has no idea. Because I also played Wolfenstein, and I'm almost done, so a review will be coming.
I guess that flows nicely into me, because I played Wolfenstein some more, and got to a point there, I think we're on the same level, maybe.
I finished the level you were on.
Oh, you got past where I was stuck at? Okay, well.
I got through a whole other cutscene and everything.
Well, gotcha. So I hit a point where it just really pissed me off. I was really struggling, and so
I know the exact point you were talking about, so I snuck past about half of those people.
How?
So you know where the robot's walking around, the big one?
That's not where I'm talking about when you go up to the top and they're shooting out. This makes no sense. This makes for great...
So are you still on Venus?
No.
Oh, well then I'm not past you.
No, I'm past Venus.
Okay, never mind. Continue. Continue.
Are you talking about the big one outside before you go?
So I got the codes.
Yeah.
For Odin.
I am in the process of using the Odin codes.
Oh, okay. I have to find Wyatt still. He went off a drug stupor.
When you find Wyatt, it moves the story along. So if you want to go back and do Uber Commandos, take care of them before you...
Yeah, I thought about that. I don't want
find Wyatt.
I just want to finish the story.
I did 2 of them.
I've done like 6. So
I did 2, and then I was like,
It's kind of like,
the thing that I learned
want to finish the story.
When you go back and do those Uber Commandos, I didn't realize you have to do the whole thing in one life. It doesn't there's no checkpoints like there is in the real one.
No.
So a couple times I got right to the end, and I just got a little reckless.
I've gotten to where the only person that was left was the Uber Commando, and they have like
the rocket launcher. Yeah, it happened to me with the second one I did in the subway. The subway guy. It was just me and him, and I was just laying into him, and all of a sudden,
4 times I got down to just him, and he kept shooting me.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm kind of over that. I actually want to enjoy the story, and then I'll go back.
So yeah, I took a break. I figured it wasn't worth getting frustrated over and over again. Just get past at one point. I'll probably go back and play it again, but I switched it up. I played briefly Ark, but I tried to move to a different location and got killed by some raptors. Mm-hmm. Recovered all my stuff, and then I was just like, okay. I was like, I want to play something with story.
Yeah.
So I went back to Mass Effect Andromeda. Woo! Been playing that for the last couple days.
Story galore there.
It's not as bad as I remember. I'm enjoying it.
Well, it's been updated.
Yeah, I meant like the story, like, and all that stuff.
Oh.
Like,
I'm like still at the beginning. I was on that first planet they touched down on. That's where I was. I know. I pulled a Kyle. I stopped at the beginning of the game.
so yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff going on and progressing things. I've started to take care of side, the like loyalty missions for your shipmates and stuff like that. I'd say I'd probably 70% of the way through the story, most likely.
So you got lots of powers now.
Yeah, I'm level 42.
You're able to like run around freely now. You're not held down.
Yeah, there's some big things on each of the planets that you can fight.
Like world bosses?
Sort of. They're called architects, and they're these big badass mothers. And
interesting.
I killed one, I believe, on the first planet, but there's 3 of them on that planet, and then there's been one on each subsequent planet, and so I haven't killed them on the other planets because the first one was doable, but then the second one kicked my ass. So
here's,
but that's like not necessary for the game. Like, I mean, so I'll go back eventually and do it. So you get through your armor progressions, and when you unlock level 5 of say like the N7 armor, then it unlocks an advanced tier. So, I have level 5 gear.
A little bit of Monster Hunter.
Actually,
in there.
So the Avenger assault rifle, which
Yeah.
was my favorite weapon in the original franchise.
Yeah, that's
there
like
is
the
a
fully
new
automatic
version of
one.
it. So they have the M8 Avenger.
Okay.
Then they have, it's called the X2, and it's an advanced version of the Avenger, and it's badass. I only have a level 2, and it kicks every other, blows every other assault rifle out of the water.
Is that the assault rifle that acts like a light machine gun? Because that's the one
Yes,
I like.
I think so.
Yeah.
No. That's the Revenant.
Yes.
Or Remnant.
Remnant? Starts with
Remnant. I'm thinking of a Leonardo DiCaprio movie.
Mass Effect 3 was the best one. That's all you need to know.
Critics would disagree. They'd point to 2 as the best.
Yeah,
But good God, the mining for minerals and all that stuff.
my boy, Helm in the ship, I'm totally blanking now. He gets to hook up with Edie at the end. That's all that matters.
Seth Green
Thank you.
is the voice actor.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I've been playing that. I've been enjoying it. I'm glad I went back to it, and I guess that's a nice part about summer is getting the chance to
Play old stuff
and
buy
it's
old stuff.
I think the biggest problem I had with Mass Effect Andromeda is I played it, but I was so anticipating Horizon Zero Dawn that I just never was fully committed to it. Because it was only 2 weeks before Horizon Zero Dawn came out, I think.
I mean, if I hadn't have gotten Horizon Zero Dawn and then a Switch for my birthday, I would have probably finished that game. Because I was actually enjoying it when I was playing it.
Yeah, no, and that's what I'm saying now, is I'm
Yeah.
really enjoying it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not nearly as good as the original trilogy, but as I get more and more into it, and like, I'm remembering what I love so much about the Mass Effect universe and all that stuff, and so when I finish the game, I'll gladly give a review. I'll try not to spoil too much for you, but...
It's okay.
Yeah, I figured.
I'm over it.
So some news items. We have those
Yes.
as well, and
Slow news week.
I think the first one I want to talk about is, I'm going to go out of order here. John picked out our news stories for the show once again. I'm letting him produce. That's kind of fun for me as somebody who used to have to produce news items and all that fun stuff. So, and I want to talk about the special edition PlayStation 4 Pro that is coming out for Spider-Man PS4, and
my favorite
good God,
color.
does this thing look great. Need even, maybe.
Should probably, pull up a picture so we can hook it into the camera. Well, hold it into the camera.
I don't know about that.
While we're doing that, I'll describe it. It's a PS4 Pro, so it's got all the goods. It can play in 4K, but it doesn't have a 4K Blu-ray player, which doesn't make sense to me. And the controller is all red with the touchpad's black. I don't know that they've ever changed the color of the touchpad.
I don't think so. I think it's
And
always
the
been-
joysticks are white. All the buttons are white. Every single button is white. So it looks super sweet. This is actually probably the best special edition of the PlayStation 4. I've seen.
It is incredible looking. I made a mistake here. Forgive me.
And then it
Nope,
has
stop.
the Spider-Man logo for
I'm out of
Spider-Man on the PS4.
Well, it's not how I wanted to open the picture, but you'll get the gist here. It is stupendous. I apologize, my iPad is dying, so it has to be plugged in, but
Again,
red,
red with a white Spider-Man logo that matches his suit in the game.
and then the
The
controller
is beautiful.
white, joysticks,
Mm-hmm.
and button backings, which is interesting. I don't know about white, but it looks clean.
The
it looks
joysticks will probably get dirty eventually.
cool. Very quickly. Based on my own, love my red controller. Like the look of this one.
Mhm.
Love the look of the PS4, and if I can get my hands on one,
Probably
I
not
most
it.
definitely will. That's all I have to say about that. So yeah, that's awesome. Looks great. As far as I know, it's not. I don't know how limited the run's going to be.
It's a special edition, but all their special editions have I've seen like in stores. Like,
Yeah.
way
I'm not
later.
saying how. I'm just saying I don't know how long
This
it's
one
going to
I
run
feel
for.
might actually sell well. The one that sold really well was the Monster Hunter one.
Which is surprising to me.
Star Wars ones didn't sell all that well because
Well, 'cause the
Battlefront
game
2 was
sucked.
bad when it came out. It's better now. And B, the other one was kind of not that great. So, moving on. Halo doesn't want to touch Battle Royale. In fact, the Halo developers said the only BR they are interested in is the Battle Rifle, which I thought was hilarious.
It's the right choice.
It is the right choice. Why is it the right choice? We just don't like Battle Royale.
Well, okay. Here's
But why?
the thing to me, and I'm going to use another example of a game mode that took off like crazy a few years ago, and that's Horde mode.
Which was
The
awesome.
wave mode. Yes, it was.
For a hot
but then
second.
they put it in every single game, and it lost what it was that made it cool. Zombies is still a thing, you know, in Call of Duty's.
Everybody
Horde
loves
mode.
their zombies. I don't know why.
But I mean, and Halo had their Horde mode.
Firefight on ODST, the best Horde mode, and then that's all I'm gonna say because it's just gotten worse from there.
And then the original, of course, being Gears of War.
Which was a great start.
Yeah.
Firefight was, I think, Horde mode perfected.
Yeah. I think, what I liked about Horde mode, or Firefight, was it was, you could complete it.
You could
Horde
complete
mode,
it
it was
Horde
just
mode.
like, last how long you could.
And the farther you got, the more damage and stuff that was against you got added in from the old skulls that you found in the campaigns. which
So
was
I'm glad
really
to
cool.
see Halo not like jumping on that bandwagon. It's like we have our
It's
you know,
not
battle royale games in PUBG and Fortnite. Let them do it. Let them run with it.
It doesn't seem like it fits
It doesn't.
for Halo.
No,
So I'm glad they recognize that.
Halo is usually two very distinct sides,
Yeah.
and it should stay that way.
Yeah. And I don't like Battle Royale because you know what? We had this mode a long time ago when multiplayer first came out. It was called Deathmatch. And you started the map with the worst gun and you had to run to find the best one. And if you weren't the first one to get it, you weren't going to win the match. Oh, what does that sound like? Oh yeah.
But it was only 16
Battle
players,
Royale.
John. It was
I
only
know.
16
There's
players.
more players. Oh, it's amazing, and the map shrinks as
But
you
hey,
get done.
that was the original Xbox.
That was the original Xbox, the original GameCube, all of that stuff. And that is basically, in a nutshell, what Battle Royale is. You start out with nothing, you gotta go find it, and then you get closer and closer together as the match ends. And there can only be one. Highlander.
Well, speaking of Microsoft and their properties,
Lily's excited.
it's tough to get money figures out of Microsoft when it comes to their
I'd
game
say
sales.
like console sale figures.
Yeah,
It's tough.
yeah. But the Microsoft gaming division has made $10 billion in a year for the very first time.
This is shocking.
Good Lord. So that's the fiscal year, which starts in July and runs through June.
Okay.
Just so you have your time frame there. So since start of last July until this June, they made more than $10 billion. That's a lot of cheddar.
On what? Because they didn't really release games. I mean, they released Sea of Thieves, but that was available on their Games Pass. So, are they just raking in money off of the microtransactions?
Well, here I will have more info here for you, and that is Microsoft has reported a 39% increase in revenue in the division, a large part of which is credited to Xbox Live and Games Pass and Mixer. They're sort of multi-platform where you can stream and that sort of thing. Mixer, yes.
Is that like their version of oh my gosh. Why am I... Twitch?
Sort of, but I mean, I think you can integrate it with Twitch and stuff. I haven't really done it too much, but it's like where you can watch their press conferences and all that stuff. It's sort of their multimedia platform that they have for sharing game content. You know, if it's like you could record yourself and then post it, I think. And
that's cool.
I think that's how it works. But so, CEO Satya Nadella, there we go, Nadella, maybe.
Not the guy that normally talks.
Says, in gaming, well, this is actually Microsoft. This is not a Phil Spencer
joint.
So in gaming, we're pursuing our expansive opportunity from the way games are created and distributed to how they are played and viewed, surpassing $10 billion in revenue this year for the first time. She goes on to say, we're investing aggressively in content, community, and cloud services across every endpoint to expand usage and deepen engagement with gamers. The combination of Xbox Live, Game Pass subscriptions, and Mixer are driving record levels of growth and engagement. So, and we've seen more of that too. I mean, that E3 press conference for Microsoft, they hit how hard they're going after games and wanting to, push that content. So, I mean, Microsoft, it seemed like PlayStation was going to just knock them out, early, especially early in the cycle with this current generation. But Microsoft has hung steady, and they've steadily made progress. They've steadily made up ground in terms of market interest.
I think optics-wise,
yeah,
they're on a good level. I don't think consoles per household, they're right there. I don't think they're close to the PS4 at all. But I do think that they've found out how to get the revenue stream to be more stable, which is through Xbox Live, through the Games Pass, through all these other avenues, allowing their games to be on both the Xbox and the PC, which, I mean, a more stable revenue is way better in my opinion, and I think they're doing a great job. I think in the coming years they're going to be a force to reckon with again, and PlayStation's going to have to put up or shut up finally. So competition's always a good thing for the consumer. So I'm glad that they're staying in and doing well.
Yeah, good for them. I mean, but I think you hit on something too. It's Microsoft Gaming, so it's not just Xbox.
No.
So this includes PC games and that sort of thing. So every time Microsoft says something like that, it gets a little bit of an asterisk towards it.
Exactly.
So, moving to our next item, Resident Evil 2 remake, the newest, I guess, remake in the Resident Evil universe. The $200 collector's edition will include a Leon Kennedy figure and a RPD, that is a Raccoon City Police Department comic. Blueprint. Sorry, this was from Comic-Con. I can't read.
So, if you really like Resident Evil 2, you got some things to look forward to in a special edition. I think the Blueprints thing was actually probably the coolest thing for me. But I'm sure lots of people would like the statue.
John has gotten burned the last few times he's bought something with a figure in it, though. I'm specifically thinking of... Oh, here we go.
The only one that was actually good...
I mean, it's a great figure.
Was from Assassin's Creed 3, which the game wasn't the greatest.
That's what I was saying. The game wasn't great. And then you got the Ghost edition of the of Destiny, the original Destiny, which is behind our camera.
Mm-hmm.
And, again, good game. Ran out of steam quickly with that one, though. So, I always,
Now I have a voice that's on there that's not even in the game anymore.
Yeah. So that should be worth money, then.
Speaking of money...
So, I mean, collector's edition, that's awesome if you're into that sort of thing. I'm sort of moving away from physical copies as much as I can.
Unless it's on Amazon. Then he buys it.
But sometimes you can get digital copies on Amazon. Sometimes.
Yeah, I don't know.
Sometimes. For certain games. Usually, for PlayStation, it's only their PS4 exclusives that you can get codes for.
Yeah.
If it's a AAA independent title,
then they don't do it.
Then it's usually you have to buy it on disc. Although God of War, I bought the disc version because
of course
I like
you
the way
did.
it looked. I like that case. So,
speaking of money, analysts predict Battle Royale games could make $20 billion next year. And this is what's crazy. Fortnite's not even a year old, and it's already like a mainstay in households around the place. And because I saw that they're doing a special thing for their first year, and I was like, wait, they've only been out for a year, and they already
they were in
PUBG.
They had an open beta for a long time.
But the open beta came after the real Fortnite game, which was a tower, like a fort defense game, and then they saw that PUBG, and then they were like, oh hey,
People seem to be
Fortnite
interested
Battle
in this.
Royale. And then that took off like a rocket, apparently. So Battle Royale mode has spiked in popularity over the past year, as we just stated, and is now expected to make $20 billion in 2019, according to analysts at Business Insider. After it was reported that Fortnite passed the $1 billion mark for in-game purchases alone, the profits made from the Battle Royale genre are expected to increase approximately 7 times their total in 2018, which is foreseen to be $2 billion. For the current year. Well, that would be 10 times, not 7. But hey, what do I know? I'm not an analyst.
I mean, I get that. I mean, good for those developers because they were not big studios.
No.
And they have...
Well, Fortnite's from Epic.
Well, big teams, I should say.
No,
necessarily.
Yeah, I don't think they spent a lot of manpower on it.
The team that developed the multiplayer for Fortnite was not the original primary component of
No,
the game.
No.
But, I mean, the fact that they made $1 billion in their first year from in-game purchases alone, and they're projected to cross more than $2 billion for 2018 is absolutely insane. So, I mean, I guess easily see how they could get to $20 billion in the next couple of years. I mean, or I guess next year is what they're saying, but it's just it's a huge market, and especially with Call of Duty is going to be rolling out their Battle Royale mode, which I guess there's going to be a beta for in September on the PS4.
Which I won't be playing.
I might try it. I have no interest in buying Black Ops 4, but I'm curious to see how they handle that.
If that's the start one, you have to pay. There's a second one that you don't have to pay. You got to pre-order to get into the first one.
This is, I guess, yeah, maybe. I don't know. If it's free, I might try it. If not, forget about it. So
forget about it.
Awesome for fans of, those battle royales. It seems to be lots of content coming for you.
GTA even did a battle royale mode in their online.
They've kind of always had a basic one, though.
Yeah, once it went popular, they just basically went and then made it a thing. Speaking of
GTA, yeah. You want to hit this? Or
GTA Online Nightclubs update is called After Hours, coming next week. Nightlife-themed update is called After Hours. That's the title of the update. And will be released on July 24th for the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. First announced last month, the nightclub-themed update brings musicians Solomon, Tale of Us, Dixon, and the Black Madonna to nightclubs around GTA Online's Los Santos. As we previously announced, players will be able to open their own clubs and have full control over their setup, design, staffing, and promotion. So if you want to run your own nightclub, there it is.
Well, here's the thing about the clubs, though. It's not just running a club. This is GTA, after all. Rockstar explained that these clubs will be, quote, act as a quote, as a front for the most concentrated network of criminal enterprise ever to hit San Andreas. So, it's the next big update for GTA Online. Here's my problem. Cool, more content coming for GTA Online. I love how much they're supporting it. Mm-hmm. Here's my problem. It is so damn hard to make a decent amount of money on GTA Online that I can't buy anything.
Because you actually play.
I played it,
Which
and it's
is
fun to play with
why?
friends.
Mm-hmm.
I played with my roommate and some of his buddies from Odessa.
Yeah, well, I'm not probably going back to that place.
No need to. But it's fun when you play with people. It's easier to earn money because you could do the heists and that sort of thing, which is a good way to make money, but they take time. It takes a good amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
And then they do the, double XP, double money weekends for, essentially every weekend there's something, but it's not always something that you can do by yourself.
Not always double XP.
I'm saying they do those frequently.
Frequently.
There's always a double something weekend going on. But it's so hard to make money, and you have to invest so much time to make even a decent amount of money. Like, if you want to buy a yacht, man, that's $8 million base, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a long time to get that much. I mean, I think I've played a lot of hours of GTA Online, and I only have made like $2.5 million total.
So you're saying people buy the shark cards?
Yeah, and so, I mean, they're raking in money with those shark cards, but it's like, if you want to get everything that comes out, you either have to play it all the time and nothing else, or you have to buy shark cards.
And so this gets to my kind of, I don't know, conspiracy theory. So NPD tracks revenue sold from a game. And GTA 5 is on the top 10 every month. Is the shark card getting counted into that revenue?
Absolutely.
Or are people just... Because I can't imagine that there are still people that want to buy a copy of this game enough to keep it on the top 10 every month. I'm thinking that they're counting the shark cards in there somehow.
They have to be, because, I mean, you can get the different ones, from $20 all the way up to, like, $100. I mean, it seems like. But it's just... It's fun. Don't get me wrong, but, like, for me, somebody who likes to play by myself and things like that, I want to be able to earn money in GTA Online without, like, having people harass me. Like, I want an open world GTA game where I can get all that stuff that's in online that gets constantly updated without having people harass me. Give me that stuff in the single player story mode, and give me a way to earn a decent amount of money.
What you're saying is, you just want to drive on the sidewalk and run back and collect all that cash.
Yeah. I miss that in the old games when you just see the sidewalk littered with cash. They don't do that anymore.
I know.
Just sad. A little sad, but I love GTA. I mean, GTA Online is awesome, and I love how much they're supporting it, but I just wish it was accessible more to somebody like me who plays by themselves and doesn't want to play it 24/7, but still wants to take part in all these things. Like, am I going to be able to buy a club? No. I don't have that kind of cash.
Not even remotely. You can't even buy an apartment in GTA 5 yet. Right?
Yeah, you can.
But not one you want.
I mean, I bought a decent one, but I haven't been able to buy, like, the most expensive one.
Yeah.
I could have.
Did you buy a garage? And then a car?
My apartment has a 10-car garage, and I have, like, 2 cars.
Yeah, CDC can't even fill out... He's got $2 million, can't even fill out his apartment.
I mean, well, I've also bought an office building, but it's a pretty basic one.
Is that making you cash? It's not.
Well, it's how you have to make cash.
See?
Because you have to be able to run these criminal enterprises, and so you need a base to do it out of. But it's like, you buy this office, and there's different levels of what you can do. So it's import-export. So right now it's just, like, illicit goods that I have to, like, steal and then distribute. So you have to, like, get them back to your warehouse, which, oh, by the way, you have to buy separately from the office.
Naturally. It's a warehouse. It's not even attached to the office building, so yeah.
But so it's like, you can buy the office building, but you can't do anything with it until you buy a warehouse as well.
Lovely. Do you have to pay people to be in the office? Do you have to give out salaries?
Oh, I do. I have a receptionist at that office, but it's cheap. There's other ones where it's more expensive.
Anyway.
But lost my train of thought. Oh, so yeah, you have to steal it, get it to the warehouse, and then you can distribute it, which is how you make cash.
Sweet.
So you don't make any cash on that initial one. Then you have to sell it. But all this time, people can, like, mess you up. And there's some pretty heavy vehicles out there in GTA now that people can just wreck your day really easy. So
it's an unfriendly...
Yeah, like, you can enable passive mode if you're just kind of messing around, going around doing things. But as soon as you do one of those things, you're fair game. And
as soon as you try to make money, you become unpassive?
Yep.
That's BS.
So, like, if you're just, like, tooling around, like, exploring and doing random things, not trying to, if you're just trying to buy new clothes or update your car, you can do that.
High-grade malarkey right there.
Yeah, so Rockstar, be more friendly to the single player who doesn't want to do all that stuff in a active world where people are trying to kill them constantly. Let me do that in the single player environment by myself. That's all I ask.
To which they're saying, just play the story mode, Kyle. Well, you already beat the story mode. So
Twice.
what now?
Twice. I beat it twice. I beat it on PS3
He did what
and
you wanted,
PS,
and he
on
just
Xbox
wants a little
One.
bit more.
Yeah.
Is that so hard to ask?
I just want to be able to do it by myself and make a decent amount of money and earn all of the stuff. Because
there you
then
go.
it's rewarding.
GTA 6. You got your after party for when the story mode's completed. And you can even use that.
That'd be great.
The after party. There you go. You're welcome. Okay.
Your next update.
Last bit of news before the topic of the show. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe gets Breath of the Wild free update. It's basically Breath of the Wild Link is
And vehicle.
available. And vehicle. Woohoo! The Master Cycle. That's all that you really need to know about that one.
Yeah, looks cool. Always love a good Mario Kart update.
You know what I like about updates?
What
Kyle?
do you like about updates, John? Tell me.
I like that updates are part of the topic of the show! With the ability to make any bad game, eventually, sometime in the future,
That is the question. Posed
become a
here.
good game.
Can you make a bad game into a good game by rolling out a massive update?
2 years later.
Aliens Colonial Marines? Did you hear this news?
That's not an update.
No, but I'm saying...
I did.
Did you hear about this? So, the largely panned, universally panned Aliens Colonial Marines, they figured out why it was so terrible.
Some coder couldn't spell.
One spelling error.
Just one. That's all you need, guys.
Misspelling of the word tether.
It had an A in it instead of
So it was
T-E-T-H-E-R. Yes, Tether. So the guy...
ruined. It did not... the Xenos were not properly tethered to the spot, and so they didn't behave appropriately.
Yeah, they were really
They
stupid.
just wandered everywhere.
Yeah, they were like, hey guys, how's it going? And so this guy, it was for the PC. He went through the code on the PC, found the spelling error, turned it on, or fixed the spelling error, turned it back on, played it, and he was like, "This is the
So it
game."
vastly improved the game.
They were promising this was what they were showing the whole time.
Doesn't
I don't
improve the
understand.
story, which wasn't great,
No,
apparently.
but the AI
gameplay
was way better. The only thing I wonder is probably not going to be fixed for the Xbox or the PlayStation because they'd have to send in a certification to change that coding, wouldn't you?
They're like, it's not worth it.
And no, it's definitely not worth it.
There's not enough interest in playing that game right now to make it worthwhile. But that brings us to the game we
Full
actually
circle.
wanted to talk
No
about.
Man's Sky is
Oh,
making
No Man's
its
Sky.
update next, which is what they're calling it, NEXT. And this is coming out...
I was looking to see... trying to see...
It's supposed to come out when you can play it on the Xbox, from my understanding. And it has 28 giant pieces of updatable information. So full multiplayer basically is the big one where you can play with up to 4 of your bros and either
Parties
rape them.
of up to 4.
Parties of
It's
up to
awesome.
4.
Because, I mean, let's be honest, you and I just need 2. But being able to do 4, I feel like 4 is that sweet spot.
4 is a good number because you can start griefing each other pretty hard if you get a bunch of people and they don't want to do anything. It's going to add some light missions that you can do with people. You're going to be able to update your buildings even further, upgrade them, build them out more, make them bigger, make them awesome. You can build underwater. You can build on the sides of mountains, canyons, yada yada yada.
But here's what
Which
I
is
kind of
nice
like.
because some of the planets I've been on, they're just nothing but straight vertical cliff.
There's no hosts. Everybody has to connect to the server.
Everyone
Universally.
connects to the first player, but the player's not a host, so they're just connecting to the
Everyone
server he's
has
on.
equal privileges.
So you can build and unbuild, but your ship is yours only.
Yes.
And then if you have a freighter, you can all land on the freighter, and you can go off into another solar system a lot easier. If you have I think it's like another giant ship, you can do more stuff. There's a creative mode, yay. So that'll be good. And you all have to be on the same mode when you start the game. So yeah, if you're gonna play with your friend, you need to talk a little bit beforehand in the old PS4 chat there, or the Xbox chat, and say, hey, we're gonna be playing on story mode, because they gotta load in on story mode and then join you.
You can share items, transfer them between each other, which is awesome.
Any item.
Yep.
Which is even better. Talking to you, Monster Hunter.
Yeah, that's a big problem with Monster
Yeah,
Hunter.
huge.
We definitely have that. Building bases so you can.
That's what I was talking about.
Yeah, I mean,
Underwater,
but I'm
on
talking about
mountains.
like
20,000 individual pieces.
for us though. I mean, I'm talking about for you and I.
And a piece could be one giant room.
Yeah. It's what we like about an open world explore type game is being
Yeah.
able to explore and build different
Build
things.
something.
So guess the moral. I mean, so much. I mean, it's huge the amount of
Third
Stuff
person
that-
mode. You can change your character. There's a free spot at all space station hubs and general areas where you go and buy your stores with the terminals and such. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just the list goes on and on. And
HUD tweaks.
So for me, I enjoyed No Man's Sky for a couple hours.
I played at least 10.
I mean, I'd probably hit about that number as well. And it was lonely. Space exploration can be lonely if you're by
There was
yourself.
Definitely No Man's Sky because there was no man up there.
But John, this brings us to the topic though. This
Mhm.
huge rollout. Are you playing it again?
I re-downloaded it because I read all that stuff and I liked what I saw. And I was hoping that someone didn't get rid of their disc.
Someone over there?
Oh, sorry, I was pointing at you. Someone over there didn't get rid of their disc because they didn't buy it digitally.
Someone didn't because somebody wasn't going to get any money for that disc. Otherwise, he might have. So
It was
I too
worse-
will be reinstalling.
Worse
this.
return than a Madden 2014 copy,
And this was in 2016.
which is like 4 cents for a Madden game.
Yeah,
a
so-
year after it's out.
It says a lot about what people thought of the original games, and I mean, I felt bad. The developers were getting death threats and like just being harassed and stuff,
the
which
poor
they
guy.
did deserve. It's a tiny studio that made this game.
And their whole studio flooded a year before they had to finish the
Yeah.
game. So part of me is wondering, like, would
Did that hurt
would
it?
this have been of an update that they would have done a year sooner if they hadn't had that giant flood?
Possibly.
It is possible. I mean, they practically had to rebuild the
So, yeah.
thing.
I'm interested in trying it again because, man, I mean, we kind of scratched all the itches there. We got our dinosaur open world explore 'em type game.
Yeah, it was basically like, I mean, Ark was the only reason we jumped into Ark was because you could actually be on a planet where there was dinosaurs. No Man's Sky, you're not guaranteed to have dinosaurs on the planet.
No. But now then we can include space exploration in a different
Yes.
game and actually be able to play together. We
Mhm.
have not been able to play Ark together yet
Well,
on
we
two
did
separate systems.
no.
On two separate systems.
We did split screen, not that great.
Because nobody wants to pay for a dedicated server. Because why would you? Just let us use the servers as is and just by ourselves, though.
I already bought your game. I already bought your game. If you make me want to pay for a server at all, just a one-time
Or
fee.
can I turn my old computer into its own server and use that without having to? No.
No. But anyway,
I should be able to do that, though.
other games that do updates regularly, Kyle. Destiny. We know how a lot of those turn out. Poorly. Because one reason, I think, is they change the currency on you every time they update. This one,
Every time they roll out a new update, they add a new currency, yes.
they add a new currency, they add more levels to your little pistol that you loved and you were using for 30 plus hours because it was the best one in the game. You spent 60 hours to get that pistol, and then you find out that
What
once you
was
do
it?
the update, just so you can log in to
The-
use said pistol, it is now meaningless.
The
and then
Thorn,
you
the
have
one
to
that
go
did poison
through
damage?
Thorn did poison damage.
Fantastic.
And then you're like, oh, okay, fine,
Fantastic.
I'll upgrade it. Oh, you gotta go in quest. Oh,
No, you gotta find the new one that's the high level. You have to
you
do
could,
more.
Or you could grind forever to get the currency to upgrade it. And then once
Wasn't
you do hit
worth
the
it.
upgrade, oh, all your powers that you worked on so hard, they're gone. And now you gotta do all that over again. So it was grind after grind after grind, which didn't make it very good. But what I read here, basically, it's all the same currencies. And because you're gonna be able to share with your bros, you know, oh, hey, I found a lot on this planet, and you found a lot of the thing I need, we're just gonna swap. No problem.
So, Hello Games, we're coming back. You hooked us.
Yeah, we're
You
coming
intrigued
back.
us. So, good on you. I think this is the right move for them to make.
Mm-hmm.
I wondered what would happen with them after the...
I was hoping they
Struggles.
wouldn't shut down. It sounds like they haven't shut down.
And it sounds like they've been working very hard to develop this new
You know who else
game
worked
modes,
really
these
hard
updates.
on a game that they put out at least 2 years
Who?
ago? Rocket League.
Good lord.
They make so much stuff.
3 years ago now. It was in the
3 years ago.
third birthday.
They've had a bunch of new modes. They added a physics changer. You can change the ball. It can be like a cube. It could be You can have
You
gravity,
can play
all that
basketball.
stuff.
You can play hockey.
They have the nice tournament mode stuff that's so great and easy to use, and they keep adding more cars. They do weekly challenges, basically. Sometimes seasonal challenges, kind of like Fortnite, where it's like, hey, it's spring, just play our game, and we'll give you points. And they change the currency, I think, or not the currency. They change the items you can buy. They're kind of seasonal, which is kind of nice because you buy them with in-game stuff. So you play, you get points. You can pay money to get more points, but I found that I actually made enough points by playing 3 or 4 games that I could go in and buy an item I wanted.
Wait. So is this saying that you earn enough credits by actually just playing
Quickly.
that you can buy these things?
That I didn't need to.
Hey, Rockstar.
Because
Adding to that,
Rocket League says pay us if you like to, not pay us because you have to.
Rockstar could learn something from Psyonix.
But they wouldn't be on the top 10 every month.
You can...
Greed, Kyle. It's powerful.
They're going to have Red Dead soon. They should just start giving away money. And that's the one thing they've started to do more and more as it gets older, is every once in a while they'll do like a week. It's like, hey, log in, you get $250,000, and then you'll get another...
Which is what?
$50,000.
Half of a tire on a car?
Well, you can earn like $1 million like in a week if you log in every day. It's like, okay, cool. You're encouraging people to log on. But it's like, I don't make enough money doing that. So I want a yacht, man. I can't get that in the... I have so much money in the single player because I played the game, following the instructions on what to do on the assassination missions, how to make all that money in the stock market. Yeah, I got lots of money. And I don't know what to do with it.
I didn't even know that there was an assassination part of GTA 5.
Oh, yeah. So you kind of...
I basically just played the story.
Yeah, well, it's kind of part of the story.
Was it like one mission and then they kept moving on? Because that happened a lot.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was like... I guess it was...
Are you talking about the heists?
No, not the heist. It was like... So you invest in the rival company and then you kill the head of a different company. And so all of a sudden their stock goes way up.
Okay.
And then...
Yeah, I didn't do the stock market thing. I know what you're
And then so you buy all that and then you sell it. And then you invest in the other company.
And then you go kill the guy. And then...
No. And so then they eventually recover. And so you make money twice off of it.
Oh, nice.
And like you can essentially buy everything. Like at first when I played it, I was like, how the hell can you get enough money to buy the golf course?
Oh, naturally.
I bought the golf course and I have still more money than I know what to do with. I could literally buy anything and still I could buy everything. Everything. But I'm not going to because So yes, an update can change your perception of a game. We haven't even played this yet, and already No Man's Sky has moved up in my opinion. But you brought up Destiny and Rockets League. But what about games like Rainbow Six and For Honor, where they don't have stories currently?
Rainbow Six,
could they be appreciated by a wider audience if they added a campaign story mode?
I mean, no. For Rainbow Six, because For Honor has a campaign, by the way. It does. But
it didn't initially.
No, it had it when it came out. You have to log in. You have to be logged online because you start off as logging in online. So people probably thought it had a single player, but it did have a single player. It was short. The thing I liked about For Honor though was you could play the entire game with just no online play against other people, which is like what a single player person wants to do when they want to test out multiplayer. I want to get my feet wet and see what the map's about first before I go jump in and play with people who've been playing it for 24 hours,
so
365. Rainbow Six, it's just multiplayer. And the reason I say no for the single player is those maps are designed, thought of, perfected for a multiplayer experience. So
I guess I'm just thinking of the original Rainbow
story.
Six games.
I think you're thinking of the Vegas, Rainbow Six Vegas.
No, I'm talking before that. Like, there was Tom Clancy.
Vegas was my favorite Rainbow Six games.
Yeah, Rainbow Six. Like, I mean, there was like for the PC. There was one you got on a rocket. Like, you got to go on. Part of it was you got to go into a rocket ship. I was like, that's cool.
So I mean, they could take some of the multiplayer maps and maybe add a story moment into them. I don't know if they want to do that. They've found a lot of success with making new maps and swapping maps out at different times. That's kind of how they do their seasons. Is they have like map rotation.
I like
Which-
that. Like,
I like that. I also would like, if you wanted to play it offline, and maybe they have this, but if you want to play it offline or in a private party, allow access to all of the maps you've made for that game from day one. Because right now, it's whatever maps are available to you when you log on or what you can play as. So I think if they did that thing, if they haven't done it already, that would add another bit of favor. The other thing is they are in the esports, and so that's helping them out. And they've been doing this a lot. Ubisoft is an example of how you take a game that was mediocre and continue to expand upon it and make it a good game that people actually want to stick with and keep. And a lot of that's because most of their updates are free. Minus The Division and Wildlands. Not all the updates on that are free. But they did let you get the multiplayer for free after a while, because that was part of the season pass, and then by the time we'd bought it, it was already free for everyone.
which, did you try that? I never tried
I did.
it.
I tried it.
I beat the campaign.
I didn't
yes.
beat the campaign. He wasn't online, so I popped on and I tried the multiplayer because I've been known to play multiplayer by myself. I did it with Call of Duty all the time. That's how I was able to prestige into 2
I
or
did
3
not.
of them.
I would not play it online unless you were part of it.
I found out
Because I needed somebody to vent to when I was dying constantly.
I found that I did better when Kyle wasn't on. Probably because I wasn't paying attention to venting.
What? If anything, I elevated your game. I just soaked up all the bullets.
This is true. So, I don't know. I think if they follow like a Ubisoft-esque approach or a Rocket League-esque approach where they put... And they've been trying to do that. I mean, all their updates have been free, so... Which is way more than a lot of Activision stuff.
I think, to me, this is the way things are going to be going forward, and I think it's a good way for the gaming industry to progress. Is don't focus so much on DLC necessarily to keep people hooked, where they have to continue to pay money. Roll out updates, rotate things, like. It doesn't have to be huge, but if it's like, hey, we're rolling out this, a little bit, or we're doing something special for a limited amount of time, that's going to get people thinking about your game, bringing them back, and like getting them to play over and over again. So I think
Maybe
these sorts of moves are definitely going to help producers, and especially for somebody like Hello Games, where they didn't hit the way they wanted to out of the gates. I think this is the right move to try to bring people back and give them a whole different experience within that universe that they had already built. And I know it's worked for you and I in that we're both going to go back and try it again and see what we think.
And some people might actually have to rebuy the game to try it again because, they may have given away their regular copy. And if you discount your digital copy on the day you do the update, people will be intrigued to buy it, and there's your inflow of cash right there.
Yeah. So that's my final thoughts on that subject. Did you have anything else you wanted to add?
I hope it's good.
Yeah, I hope so too. I like the guys at Hello Games that came across as friendly in all their media that they did going up to the release of the game. I hope it does well, and I'm more than willing to give them another shot. So I'm looking forward to it. I'll probably throw the disc in tonight when I go to bed so it can
do its update.
Do the whole update thing and all that. I know it's taken a while to download on your PS4 upstairs, but I'm definitely willing to give it another shot. And I mean, good on them for sticking with it and trying, not just giving up on it and trying to fix it.
Well, I think that doing this will help them in the future because it'll show them that for the next game they put out, someone will be like, well, I know that they're going to try and make right on it if it doesn't come out as good as they had intended.
John!
Kyle.
That'll do it for this week's show. What are you planning to play this week?
More Pokemon Ultra Sun and try and finish Wolfenstein.
For me, definitely more Mass Effect Andromeda. I may see about going back and trying to finish Wolfenstein. Let's see. I'm really enjoying Mass Effect Andromeda. It's nothing against Wolfenstein. I've cooled off enough where I'm willing to give it another try again soon, but I'm just really sucked into Mass Effect right now, so I'm definitely going to play more Mass Effect. May or may not get back to Wolfenstein this week. I know it's there. It's waiting for me. I'll probably get back to it this week because I don't want to forget those mechanics. Because sometimes going back to those games, that's the biggest part. So that's my plan. Mass Effect Andromeda, Wolfenstein. Maybe I can beat that and then I can focus solely on Mass Effect and maybe trying out some No Man's Sky. So with that, we will bid you adieu. He's John McVeigh.
He's Kyle Sherman.
We'll see you next time.
Peace.